Been very excited. Been very, very excited. Been highly anticipating a bout that's coming up. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. Some of you may have not known that this was going to happen, but in case you didn't, Mike Tyson is going to box Jake Paul, and I'm excited more for the spectacle than the actual fight. I don't know what's going to happen in the fight exactly, but it is one of the wildest encounters of two people punching each other that you could have ever imagined. Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, a star, a bona fide star globally of the 80s, fighting one of the most popular influencers that the modern era has to offer. And it just feels like somehow the 80s are fighting the 20s. Do you know what I mean? Like, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul feels like Sylvester Stallone versus Liam Hemsworth. It's like, you're just kind of like, what? How? How are they even close enough in age to have anything to argue about? This is crazy. If you don't know Mike Tyson, I know that some people are too young to have like really watched him fight. I'm too young to have like remembered those fights live. Some of them I wasn't even around for, but I watched the tape and it's devastating. Mike Tyson is one of the most bona fide terrifying people. You know what I mean? Some of the things that Mike Tyson would just say, I'd be like, oh, to even think it, you must be willing to do it. Do you know, like there was a press conference one time where Mike Tyson was sitting there and he's like, this thing, I don't think these guys understand. I'm not here to just box. I'm not here to fight or anything. I'm trying to take their health. Sir. The question was, what has your preparation been for this match? Mike Tyson he's like an embodiment of like everything like fierce, violent, and dangerous in one person that also very much loves birds. And what's wild about Mike Tyson is that from the time that he was young, right, to present, he had taken a genuine, not only interest, but maybe an obsession with the way that the world works, understanding oneself and understanding the world and how who you are applies to the world, right? So he said some of the most fascinating things around Alexander the Great, around conquerors, around kings, around how to win a mental battle as well as like a physical one, how war works. He has such an understanding of the world. And then he says other things. Other things that are so scary that you're like, sir, just shoot me. Don't want to have to deal with this, you know? And a lot of it bleeds together because it's not my time, right? I'm not like from that era, but you watch these old compilations of press conferences and interviews and post-fight interviews with Mike Tyson. I was scared for the reporter. Because you have a man who's been training to basically kill a man with his fists, even if it took him 12 rounds. and it took half of one. So by the time you interview him, he's still got a lot of energy. There was one time they were trying to interview Mike Tyson after a fight. They're in the ring with him. They're putting the mic in his face and everything. And he's so amped and he's talking. He's like, y'all don't understand. Like I'm from Sonny Liston's cloth. I'm the most fierce. And he starts describing not just who he is as a boxer, but his training and everything. And then at the end of it, he goes, I don't know, man. What? And I think if I had been the reporter, I'd also be like, nothing. I didn't say anything. Don't worry about me. Mike Tyson press conference was a master class in psychological warfare. He would say things that had you thinking like, oh man, this dude's like out of his mind. Or this dude really wants to kill me and I don't know him. That's gotta be tough as a fighter, to sign up for a fight, and you know we both fight. But one of us loves fighting. And we both like it, that's why we do it, and we're both good at it, that's why we do it. But one of us is so excited to hit, they don't care if they get hit. It's a very different person. Do you know what I mean? Even when you're mad, even when you're angry, and you're like, that's it, let's fight. You're trying to get the aggression out, and you want to hurt the other person. And yeah, maybe you're willing to take a few punches, but you aren't in a fight loving getting hit just so you can give a hit. It takes a different type of person, and Mike is a different type of person. You know? When you look at where Mike Tyson comes from, it's astounding that he made it to where he was. Mike Tyson comes from Brooklyn, was in Bed-Stuy, and then at a young age moves to Bronzeville, and it's devastating because it's not the Brooklyn that you know now. You know what I mean? Like there were no cupcake shops. It was Brooklyn in a way that was, let's say the property would be cheap, all right? Like if you were trying to buy, all right? Devastating conditions. And he talks about how there was just, you couldn't even go to the bathroom inside sometimes where they were staying and stuff. And all that stuff can make a hardened person. Because he didn't just have to live in certain conditions. He had conditions waiting for him when he got outside. He talked about it. He had to fight. He had to fight all the time. He had to be ready to be tough all the time. People will test you all the time, right? He talked about his first fight. Because like I said, Mike Tyson loves birds. It's truly one of the sweetest things about him. It's one of the things that gives you a glimpse into the humanity of a person that's only known as being this fierce beast, right? Loving these birds, being gentle with them, caring for them, spending time with them, really taking care of them. And when he was a kid, there was a kid who took his bird. And he was like, give it back, give it back, give it back. And give it back, I think give it back genuinely in the way that a kid is asking you earnestly from the bottom of their heart, no, please, give it back, right? And that kid killed that bird in front of him. And then Mike Tyson, I'm assuming, killed that kid because he at least let him remember what would happen. And Mike would get into trouble, and it's easy to say, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do this, right? All those things can be true. Obviously, you shouldn't be robbing people, you shouldn't be selling stuff, you shouldn't be out here with these people who are on a bad path and everything. But when you have what looks like no other option from those things, how can you expect someone to just know? You drive down the path that's been paved, And so he ends up in detention centers and stuff like that. And at one point, Mike Tyson meets Customato. Customato sees him, and immediately he knows. He knows this kid is special and he's different, and not only just because he's built different, not only because he's big for his age, there's just something about him. And he gets the opportunity to like box a little bit. He goes to the gym, he's hitting bags and stuff, spars a little bit, and Customato sees in something in him. And after sparring, as the story goes, they ask this kid who's just sparred with some grown men, "How old are you?" And then Mike goes, "I'm 13. And then these grown men look at each other and go, "This nigga at least 30. Like, there's no way." You better put a 0 behind that 13. That's, what? 13. And Customato, to my knowledge, actually adopts Mike Tyson. Takes him into his home, right? Not just to train him, but to care for him, to love him. Because all of this energy, all this fierce potential can really go somewhere if you nurture it, right? And then under Customato's leadership, Mike Tyson does become as fierce of a person as Customato thinks he can be in the ring. And Cus believed in him before he believed in himself. I think that's why their friendship, that mentorship is like, when you see it, there's something special about it. Because anyone who sees anything in any of us and pulls it out of you, right, just with their belief, that's a very special thing. And the only people that wish Customato hadn't done what he did are probably Mike's opponents. Because Mike would have fights that were so damn fast. You can see it even in the video, even in some of the amateur fights that were actually on video. You can see in the opponent where they were like, "Does he have a hammer? What is he doing? That really hurt." No. And then Mike gets older. Mike becomes world champion. Youngest world champion, right? In there with a boxer with real experience, who's also a special fighter, right? But Mike hits him in a way that maybe he's never been hit before. And if you go back and you watch the video of this knockout, I shouldn't laugh, but Mike didn't just knock this dude out. Like, he didn't knock him out cold, right? This dude gets knocked down again, and he's trying to get up, and you can tell that his body is like, "Dog, we done. Don't. No. You know, like when you're in a bar fighting, your buddies hold you back. That was that guy's whole body. Like, you can even hear the announcer be like, "Oh, he's fighting to get up, but his body won't let him," because his body is like parts of him that didn't get hit. This dude got hit in his head and the chin, and even his feet and his knees and his hips were like, "Look, if you ever want to speak to us again, don't stack us up on top of each other right now. You need to sit down." And then Mike Tyson becomes world champion. He becomes everything that Customato thought he could be. He becomes everything that he knew he was, right? It's a beautiful moment. And then it's important when you think of Mike Tyson to understand that Mike Tyson is America. A lot of Mike Tyson's story is how America works, right? There are parts of this country that if you travel to, you'll think you're in another country for how poor they are, how broken, the conditions that people are living in. It looks like the developing world in some parts of America, and we don't like to talk about it. We especially don't like to take care of those people because it means we have to really look at ourselves to do it. But there are people that come out of those conditions that build themselves up into something that no one else could have imagined based on where they started, right? Mike Tyson is just like America. Mike Tyson is fierce, fearsome, incredibly violent. People in other countries look at America the way that we look at Mike Tyson. Genuinely, if you travel, and I mean really travel, I'm not talking about just go to the tourist spots and the places that are popular to go. If you really travel and you know world history and you go to a place and you ask them about America, right? A country that we've attacked before, they look at us like we have a tattoo on our face. Mike Tyson, builds himself up, and he doesn't just get the world championship. He has some very, very impressive fights where you can average his whole fight time out to like maybe a round and a half. He's beating people so fast it's actually upsetting the crowd. I know people who paid a lot of money to go to a Mike Tyson fight and went in the bathroom at the wrong time. Sit there the whole fight card holding it, and then you're like, oh, he's only walking out, I got a second. And then from the bathroom you hear, oh. You're like, oh no. I mean, then Mike goes down a downward spiral. He loses Customato. He loses this person that was a mentor, that was a friend, you know? And he tries to find his way, but he's still very young. People forget how young he was when he was Mike, when he was Iron Mike, and he was fearless and he was undefeated, and starts, getting lost in it. And he'll tell you that. He's talked about that. He got lost, right? Goes to jail at one point. Like, this dude is on a dark path, And even, this is attributed to Mike Tyson. I don't know if he actually said it like this, but he was like, I was a baby. And you gave me millions of dollars to punch people in the face. And you didn't think this was going to go off the rails somehow? Like, you didn't think that this was a bad idea, maybe? No. That's who's fighting. This guy who's relentless, So much fear. Imagine you're in the ring with Mike Tyson and he won't stop staring. Just the face-off, just watching the face-off, you would see it in his eyes. He's like, I would very much like to hurt someone today. And legally, it's you. And he was fast, and his movements were jerky, but they were quick, and they clearly hurt, because some very big men did not get up. He would hit people so hard sometimes that you'd be like, I think that guy's dead. And then he'd twitch, you'd be like, he's all right. That's who's fighting. And then you have Jake Paul. One thing people need to understand about Jake Paul, if you don't, he's very much, we are in Jake Paul's time. Whether we like it when I say that or not, he's having his Mike Tyson moments right now. World famous, around the world. People tune in from around the world. They watch his fights, they watch his YouTube videos. This dude is a true bona fide star, right? And we can argue about if he's as popular as Mike was back then and why the internet is different, but he is very popular. And he loved boxing. He feels like boxing saved him. That's something similar that he has with Mike, because this kid, he got a camera from his dad, him and his brother, when they were young, and it was to film themselves while they were doing football so that they could improve, right? Which I don't know how that works. I don't play enough football. Like, if I did that and tried to tape myself playing football to improve, I think I would just be like, this is where I got hit. And this is when I hit the ground. I think that's all I did. I don't know was that right? Is that how you do it? And so him and his brother start making videos, like little YouTube videos, whatever. They're putting them online. They're getting some looks every now and again. But then Vine came out. And if you don't know what Vine is like TikTok granddaddy. And they start making Vines, and they get very popular almost overnight. They are huge on Vine. Everybody thinks they're funny, and they love to follow them. They want to know what they're doing next. They're getting all this money, endorsements, everything. At one point, Jake Paul is on the Disney Channel. I don't really know what he was doing, but it was quick. And then they start posting on YouTube, and they start getting millions of subscribers on YouTube. These kids are bona fide popular, and they understand something that maybe the rest of us just don't, and that's why they are where they are. They understand internet culture. They understand marketing and business. They understand the way that the world is turning, right? And it's the age of the influencer, right? And A lot of people want to be influencers. Some people don't want to be. You can accidentally become famous, and that's a terrifying thing. You become famous in a way that you really didn't mean to, you know? You're just living your life. But somebody puts a cell phone on you, or you don't know you're in someone's shot, and you trip weird, and you go, and now you're, like that's who you are as a guy. And then people see you in the world, and they're like, hey, we love you, dude, we love, that's our favorite. Man, keep killing it, dog, keep killing it. But before you know it, just one thing, just one meme, just one moment catapults you to this level of fame that no person can be prepared for. Whether you're Mike Tyson in the 80s or you're Jake Paul now, people don't understand that like fame that you weren't even trying to get can mess with your mind, right? And so Jake Paul was on a dark path as well. He was probably headed for a bad place, and then he started boxing and he loved it. And boxing to a degree saved him. And so he's out here boxing, you know? And at first he starts fighting like YouTubers, like fellow YouTubers, because that garners attention. Because sometimes you see two people who don't like each other and you're like, man, it would be kind of funny if they fought. And this is the thing about us. We as people love a fight. Whether we like to admit that about ourselves or not, we love a fight. I've been walking down the street and seeing kids on the park sinking threes from far away, Steph Curry level, right? And I'm like impressed, and I maybe watch him do two more, and then I'm like, he's getting it in. He'll be fine. But if I see a fight in the park, I stop. Because I'm wondering, you know? But no, we're in this age where I think people sometimes want to be famous more than they want to do something. You know, and that's where you get some of these things, some of these imitators of Jake Paul, of Logan Paul and stuff like that. There was a kid whose story, like, it blew my mind. Basically, there was this kid doing these pranks, and they were like barely pranks. It was just being obnoxious. It was just being like horrible to people and messing with people to try to get a reaction out of them. Because not only are we the new like influencers, everyone, all of us, all the time, it could happen to any one of us, but because of how people become influencers, because of how people get popular, they are our paparazzi now. You're just living your life, but now you're in someone's video and they're trying to make you act a certain way. That's not what we signed up for, you know? You should at least be rich to have that happen. And so this kid was making this video, and he was messing with this guy in the mall, and he was following him around. And he was just like not just being annoying. He seemed like to also be intimidating him a little bit. And he was really following him, trying to get him to answer some question or something. And finally, this little guy, he's like a very small guy, and he did not look well, right? He finally goes, stop, stop, stop. And then he pulled out a gun and shot him. And I am praying that's not him. This dude pulls out a gun and he shot him. There's this loud bang in the mall and people start screaming and running and everything. But from the vantage point of like the person who, because he posted it himself, the kid, the influencer who was making the prank video, posts the thing and he's coming at him and the guy's like, stop, 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 bang. And then as soon as you hear the bang, this kid, the prankster goes, oh! And to be fair, there's no cool way to get shot. But he goes, oh! And he hits the ground, and that guy walks off, and obviously he gets arrested and everything. They explain the situation. I believe he got released. And then this kid goes to the hospital. He's fine, right? He's fine. He got shot in the side. and he's fine. But when they ask him about it, they ask him how he feels about the fact that this thing happened. Like, is it change how he's gonna make content? He got more followers from it happening because it got on the news and people wanted to see the kid that got shot, and they wanted to see the other stuff that he did. So he did get more popular, right? And they wondered how he felt towards the gunman. This guy shot you and you were being annoying, but did you deserve to be shot, right? And then this kid sitting in his hospital bed, his dad, by the way, is furious. His dad is like, there are people saying my son deserved to be shot. My son's just a kid, right? And this kid sitting in his hospital bed, when he's asked these questions, goes, it is what it is, dog. Like, which I can't tell, is that a good attitude about it? But it lets me know it's not just a few people. It's not just a few individuals. We're in an age, and it's an age of if I can be popular, maybe I can be safe, maybe I can be liked, maybe I can be something, whatever it is. But it's apparently worth being shot over for some people. And make no mistake, Jake Paul is America. I don't know how it feels to have me say that, but Jake Paul is America. A lot of what America embodies is what Jake Paul is, right? America is business, usually business first. We can worry about being a country later. It's business, and it's fame, and it's money, and it's influence, right? You go to some of these backdoor meetings that some of these world leaders have when America convinces them to do something. We don't know how they do it. Maybe it's with money. Maybe it's with other things. Maybe they're like, hey, look, we'd hate for something to happen to your whole island. Influence. See what I mean? And so now you have these two boxing, and people don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, there are people that want Mike Tyson to hurt Jake Paul very badly. And then there are people who just want to see a fight. They just want to see what it would look like. You know what I mean? They just want to see what it would look like if, like, that guy from The Breakfast Club fought Timothy Chalamet. Like, just... They just want to see two generations go at it. You know? Because let's be honest, it's an odd fight. You know, Jake Paul has fought former MMA fighters. He's fought former NBA players. He's fought YouTubers. He's fought one established boxer, maybe two pro boxers that I know of, right? Because I don't know his entire record. But he said that the thing that made him do this, the thing that made him push for it and create it, was he did some ayahuasca. And when he did the ayahuasca, he said he saw himself fighting Mike Tyson. And if I'm being honest, taking ayahuasca and seeing yourself fighting Mike Tyson sounds like something Mike Tyson would say doing ayahuasca. Like, I could more clearly see Mike Tyson doing ayahuasca, and he's like, I saw myself fighting Jake Paul. I don't know, man. I had to think to myself, you know, if I did ayahuasca and I saw myself fighting Mike Tyson, I'd probably have to sit back and be like, maybe heroin's the answer. Like, I don't know. This ayahuasca is not it for me. No, thank you. You know? And so, as soon as he had that vision, though, he put it into motion. And that's the marketer, that's the businessman, that's the promoter in Jake Paul. He saw this thing and he had to create it. That's also America, by the way. You go to other countries and you're like, oh, I have this big dream of doing this thing. A lot of countries are set in their ways, right? America is properly crazy. We'll let you do anything, fundamentally. And so now they have a press conference. They're together, and Jake Paul's very good at being the heel, you know what I mean? But it's hard to be the heel when you're fighting Mike Tyson. Like, people might be booing you, but he's saying truly upsetting things. Mike Tyson was in a press conference one time, and he was like, look, all I want is for his kids to be watching us fight and see me beat them so bad that they're like, Daddy, no. Hearing Mike Tyson quotes out loud genuinely makes me want to learn Tai Chi. So in case I ever come across Mike Tyson, I can look like I'm about to fight him while also backing up. Like, and some people think that the fight's just a spectacle. Some people think it's a real fight. There are kids who think Jake Paul's got to beat Mike Tyson, right? Jake Paul's a great boxer. Let's see it happen. I'm so excited to see Jake Paul whoop this guy. There really are both sides to this thing. And it's going to be on Netflix, which who knows if that's a mistake. Do you know what I mean? Who knows if they fight and then one of them dies and we're just sitting there like, so... Are we accomplices, or just sitting there, stoic, don't know what to do next, and Netflix is like, are you still watching? Not now, man. You know? And it's a gamble as well. It's a gamble. Is one of the biggest gambles we've seen, because Mike Tyson is, to some degree, putting his legacy on the line. He's one of the most fierce fighters that's ever lived. People talk about Ali and Tyson. When they talk about boxing, they don't really know anything about it. You know those names. And then Jake Paul's putting something on the line, too. It's like, I had this idea, I had this dream of fighting Mike Tyson, and maybe I'm just out of my mind and I'm going to be hurt very badly. And Netflix is putting something on the line because it's like, will people watch? Will someone die? It's a genuine gamble. And if America is anything, it's a proper gamble. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we do. I don't know. I admire an aspect of what Jake is doing, because Jake loves boxing. And no one will probably ever give him credit for it, but he is revitalizing a part of boxing. People talk about boxing a little bit more now because of the popularity that he brings in, the new kids that he brings in, and he's putting himself on the line because he loves boxing. And that, to me, is wild. Like, I love hip-hop, but I wouldn't try to battle Kendrick Lamar. Like...
Welcome to the Josh Jonhson Show. I'm Josh Jonhson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay, man. How are you?
I'm all right, but I know that that's a lie.
Jeez.
Yeah. You're not doing all right.
Oh, I thought you said I'm doing all right, but that's a lie.
No.
I'm not. You're not doing
I'm not doing
great. But do you want me to rant about it again? I can get into it again.
The subject of this week's episode, because I based off of this being our second attempt at recording, I got to thinking last night, and I sort of threw away my idea for yesterday's episode. Okay. And I switched over to a new idea that I feel like is more pertinent, more topical.
Okay.
It's of the people. It's what they want. It's what they want to hear about. It is terrible Airbnbs.
Yeah. Because full disclosure, so I'm still in New York, as per last episode.
He is indeed
still here. This is week 2. I'm going on of a 3-week stint. So I will probably leave here cured of my desire to live here. But we tried recording last night. You came over, but you forgot cords for the soundboard.
So I forgot some cables.
Forgot some cables that are necessary because without them, this doesn't turn on or record. Good. We just had an ice cream truck, and now there's just a car alarm going. So this
there's
sounds in the city, man.
I have a pretty irresponsible neighbor.
Is it the same one every day that goes off?
It's not every day, but it's like too much.
Yeah.
It's to the point now where like it doesn't actually alert anyone. Like sometimes when you hear a car alarm, you're like, is that a carjacking?
Right.
Is that what's happening right now? Mm-hmm. And then you hear it and it just becomes like, nah, that's just Tony's car just sort of doing his thing.
But yeah, I'm in this Airbnb, and the last honestly, most Airbnbs I've stayed in have been all right. I've rarely had like a bad experience. I've had some where you're like, but it gets the job done. That car is going.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I mean,
I don't know. They might not even be able to hear it. I have no idea.
They might not be able to hear it, but in case you can, it does take. I've started calling him Tony because it seems like a Tony problem to have.
So this isn't the first time you've called it Tony at all.
No. But it's just funny to me because there will be some times where it's going for like a while to where I'm like, I think the battery's gonna die.
Yeah. I don't know if this will. See, I don't know. I can try to boost it. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, I mean maybe they're not
it.
picking it up at all.
But it's to try to talk while that's going.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I'm in this. I moved to, so me and Jess were together last week. She was in town. Great week, by the way. Maybe we'll get to that later. And then I moved to a different Airbnb because she went back to Iowa, and I'm here. And honestly, when I first got there, it was fine. Like, I didn't love that. Like, they clearly did some like editing on the photos to make it look like it got way more light than it really did, because it is a dungeon. It is.
Yeah.
There is no.
When I came to visit you.
Yeah. What were your thoughts when you came by?
I was like, oh man, I didn't know that you were allowed to like put out an Airbnb, like just offer up an Airbnb and smoke crack. Like it just felt like it felt like the type of place where you go visit your friend who's going through something, and then you realize your friend's not having a good time. Like it seems like the apartment from a drama where it's like, what are you doing, Benny?
Yeah.
Get it together. All right, you're better than this. And then it's just like, because the lights don't make any sense. So the problem with the lights in Logan's Airbnb is that clearly this place that he's staying in is like a garden apartment, but clearly it was an afterthought.
It's just their basement. Because there are stairs that go right up. So it is just their basement.
The lights don't make any sense in that the positioning of the light doesn't light enough things.
No.
So there could be lights evenly dispersed throughout the room that, when all turned on, light up the room. Mm-hmm. But to my knowledge, from you showing me, I don't know if you turned everything on at once, but when things were on, they would light up a corner real hot. Like that's the crack corner where you want to make sure you can see yourself.
Well, yeah, because clearly, so like, yeah, there's two switches and one lights up two pretty dim lights on the walls, and those were clearly added later. And maybe they added those and they were like, fuck, we need another one. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like the way they did the pictures too, not only did it look super bright, so they probably used a flash. They also clearly did some color correction, because it looks like bright daylight, and it is not. It is dingy
in
yellow,
real life,
grim lighting.
It looks like where Rocky lives between movies. Like Like in Rocky 2, he'll be like, I did it. Yeah. And then he goes back to this like real dungeon of an apartment.
And his eyes are so swollen, it doesn't matter. It's got bad lighting, you know?
Yeah, he's not looking at anything. And then Rocky 3 comes around and they're like, hey, Apollo wants a rematch, or whoever's in. Mr. T wants to fight you.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll do it. And then he he leaves the apartment for the whole movie, and then he comes
Right.
back, and then there's that movie where they're like, Rocky, you're broke. And he's like, oh, well, come see my house. It doesn't even matter. And then
That's the interesting one too, because between Rocky 4 and 5, because I believe that movie takes place a couple days after Rocky 4, and by the time he gets back, for some reason, he's totally broke, and his son is 8 years older, and it's never really explained.
do you ever get so poor that your
Kid grows up.
your kid grows up really fast? It almost seems like a metaphor, like because when you are poor, you do have to grow up a bit faster
And it's
because
like-
you have
absolutely.
to live a bit more life.
But it's
because you
also
have
like
to
no
help.
one's going to help him out. He just brought peace to Russia, and by punching a Russian, that's
Yeah.
unprecedented.
Yeah, that's everything that Kennedy was trying to do. Like he did the whole Cold War in like 10 rounds.
But then, so one is just dingy, and I think it has like put me in a weird headspace too. I've been in like a
it
weird
has.
mood today.
It has.
It
As soon as I saw you,
Yeah.
I was like,
No, because I even told Jess today, I'm like, it kind of took me back to when like I was living alone in a basement unit, and like I was
Yeah.
happier then. Like that was okay, but it was just like
yeah.
I've just been kind of like stressed all day. And one of the other reasons I was stressed all day is because they have a child up there who
We don't know if that's a kid or a dog.
no, because there's both. I've heard both because they also have a dog that got added to the mix today.
You sure that's not just that kid barking?
I mean, if it's a dog, then that dog sometimes speaks in full sentences. So I don't know. Then it's a miracle of science and nature, and I would like to meet this talking dog. But
Wouldn't that
I will-
turn your whole week around?
I would
if
forgive
you-
it of everything. I would forgive it of everything. If they're like, oh, sorry, it's our dog. He's energetic and he speaks fluent English. Like, yeah, that would be a whole different.
You know how
thing.
puppies are.
Yeah, they are always talking in words.
Uh-huh.
No, but so they have a child up there who is one can run with the force of a grown man. Like he is pounding that floor. Because even Jess was like, maybe it's a baby. You know, babies run hard. I'm like, yeah, but I'm hearing him like speak full sentences, so it's like it's not like a baby.
This is what I think might be happening.
Yeah.
Which, in case you even at home, you the listener, the viewer may not know, the walls in New York are notoriously paper thin in lots of places.
Yeah.
And
The
our
downstairs neighbors here are getting a free live show, right?
yeah, like our ceilings in New York are also made out of our walls.
Which is why last night when you were there and we were talking and was hearing the running, because this kid is just doing full wind sprints, front of the house, back of the house for 5-6 hours straight, like nonstop.
It would actually be kind of funny if that kid grows up to be an athlete.
That'd be
Like,
something.
like if that's the next Usain Bolt, and we're complaining about having to listen to him train.
In the documentary, his mom's just like, listen, he got us a lot of bad Airbnb reviews, but he is a champion.
Yeah.
No, but he was running so hard. Remember, I was sitting on the futon, because it's just futon. It's got that Airbnb furniture where it's like they found the thinnest IKEA shit they could get. I don't fault them for that. That's every Airbnb, so whatever. But I was sitting there talking to you, and then I felt something hit my hand, and I looked down, and I swore I saw like a piece of white bounce off, and I was like, was that ceiling that just fell on me? And you were like, that was absolutely ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah. This thing has happened to a friend of mine before. They stayed in a really bad Airbnb in Chicago. Now, Chicago, I feel like, has great Airbnb. I have not stayed in a bad one while I've been in Chicago because they're just mostly Chicago apartments. And a lot of Chicago apartments are like really, really big.
Oh, I have stayed in one Chicago Airbnb, and that was also clearly someone's basement that afterthought got turned into an apartment, and it was all right. There was at a point, because there's like a doorway that leads upstairs, like straight up their front stairs, so it is like their basement.
Yeah.
And there was a point at night where we thought they were having like a fight. It sounded like we heard like a woman crying. We heard a lot of yelling, and we were like, oh no. And like they seemed nice when we met them. We're like, this seems intense. I think their TV is just like right near that doorway because eventually we heard music swell with the argument. We're like, oh, we're hearing a movie.
Yeah,
but it sounded so real because I'm like, I think there's a woman crying right behind that door. I think she came down the stairs to cry.
Do you know what's crazy is when you're just in your Airbnb with your loved one and then you hear on full volume Marriage Story blasting through.
It might have been
through
that
your
too.
wall.
It might have been.
And just wondering if you need to knock on the door, see if somebody needs help. And then you hear a full crescendo at the end of the fight.
I think even Jess pinpointed what they were watching one time because it was that, I can't remember the show, but that Netflix show with the lady who's got the Tommy Wiseau accent. I can't remember the
Anna Delvey story?
Anna Delvey thing. I couldn't remember her name. I'm in a weird place today, man. I didn't sleep much last night.
But just the Tommy Wiseau thing is very funny.
Just give me your money. Don't worry about it.
Oh, man.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Sorry, bank.
Oh, hi, bank. Oh, hi, bank. How's your sex life? No, but there's a point like Jess could hear the accent. She's like, "Oh, they're watching that show, Inventing Anna." Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Inventing Anna. Yeah.
And she like pinpointed what they were watching, and I was just like, "That means that TV's either too loud or too close to the doors." But you couldn't like really hear it through the ceiling. But the other thing with this Airbnb, sorry, you were talking about Chicago Airbnbs.
Oh no, just a very quick thing. So this Airbnb my friend was staying in was once again paper thin sort of ceiling, and the upstairs neighbors were running around and they clearly had a dog or whatever. And the same thing happened to him, but he was like eating a bowl of Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
At a certain point when because he stepped away, like went to the bathroom, and then when he came back, he saw around the bowl a couple of paint chips.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, I don't know if this is full of paint chips or not. Like, I don't know. Like, he was like, I bought this cereal and it's like the last, because he'd been staying there for a week.
Yeah.
And he's like, the last bowl of my Frosted Flakes might be half paint chips.
Is it falling into my mouth when I'm sleeping at night?
Yeah. And so he was like, I think I ate so many paint chips in Chicago because I was sleeping and just little pieces of ceiling were just trickling down. Because at first he thought it was
negative
dust.
for COVID, but positive for lead poisoning.
100%. 100%. Just the idea that you're on your last bowl of Frosted Flakes that you love so much, and then you come back, there's just a ring of paint chips around the bowl. It must have felt like you know like when you're in a building now and they're like, oh hey, careful, there's asbestos up there. Yeah. It must have felt like that because he's like just going to the bathroom, coming back to the table, and then there's just like, and he said that the ring was so perfect that like it felt as if maybe a square of tile had like fallen down. So he knows most of it is in the bowl.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, I didn't see it fall in. Oh. And it's also milk on Frosted Flakes. So he's like, I'm never going to see the chips. Like maybe if I just eat the...
Yeah.
Like if I just
pretend everything's sugar.
Yeah. If I just let it all soak long enough, won't the paint soak out? Like won't the milk kill that paint? He was like trying every way
like
that
in
he
movies
could.
when someone gets cut and they pour milk on it to sanitize.
He was just like, where's the 2%? 2%. Because
don't give me that skim, I'll get gangrene.
Because it was so wild, and he seemed so disappointed. Like even as he was telling me the story, he was looking down.
That would be disappointing, man. No,
yeah.
It's and then it's like too. I was just like frustrated, but then I knew we were going to record, so I didn't really want to go anywhere. And like the neighborhood I'm in, there's not a lot around. It's kind of a scant neighborhood, like a couple of convenience stores. So I was like, so I just kind of sat there. I did like a Zoom with Jess, and I just like slowly just got like a genuine like migraine, and just so it's like just a kid running, and all like he was running all day. This kid was trucking all day. And it's
Yeah.
like, listen, I'm not for medicating kids, but I'm not against it. And it was, my God, I was like, this kid.
What's so wild about that is that in the long term, I wonder, I'm not even saying it is, I just wonder if life is actually fair. Because anyone who's doing that to so many people, because this is an Airbnb, so I'm imagining people are checking in, checking out all the time. Yeah. Anyone who's making people live through that for like 5 years deserves to kind of not move that great when they get old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like the circle of life where you're gonna be in a home one day just really pushing a walker.
No, and I spent a lot of time today too, like just looking at hotels. I'm like, I don't need to, just waste money, but like, I almost want to just move to a hotel because at least even, I've been in hotels, people have been loud, but then you can call the lobby and be like, hey, can someone tell them to shut up? You can't do that when you're in someone's house.
Yeah, like especially when it's their house.
I'm staying in a stranger's house. That's them up there. I can't be like, hey, can you tell your kid to fucking chill?
Yeah.
Because the whole point I rented this one is I want to spend a couple days relaxing and working. And
that'd probably be the craziest thing that you could do.
It'd be wild.
You just walk up, hey, can you beat him?
I at least want to hear a good trip or something. That's
I'm just saying.
No, so it's like that's just a lot. And then the other thing that is, we'll call it challenging, was that when I got in there, and first off, so I had to check out from where me and Jess were staying, and then I had like a couple hours before I could check into this one. So I was just kind of out with my bags, and it was like a 20-minute walk from where we were. So I just kind of hung out in a park, and then I was like, all right, it's time to check in. So I walked, but it was it's a record like heat wave right now.
Yeah.
So I just had my backpack and a roller bag too. By the time I got to my Airbnb, my shirt was sweat. Like I was soaked. And then I get in there and there's no air conditioning.
Ooh.
And I honestly, that's my bad. I didn't see that it said no AC on the thing. So that one's not on them.
Yeah.
And it's a basement unit, so it's been okay. It's been muggy, but it's been okay. Like I'm just fine. But then I get in there and then I go into the bathroom and there's a sign above the toilet. And it says, please do not flush. And this is the order they do it in, which was confusing. But it says, just please do not, flush paper towels, toilet paper, or feminine products. And putting toilet paper in the middle.
Yeah, to hide it.
Yeah, and it made me like read past it. I had to like read. I'm like, is this saying I can't flush? Period. Like, is this just saying I can't use this toilet? Because then that's got to be in the listing.
Yeah.
And then there was another one by where the toilet paper is, and that one just said, don't flush paper towels. It said this, like, there's an old building, say old pipes, is built in like 1900 whatever. And it just says, hey, don't flush these things, but it didn't say toilet paper that time. It's like, okay, are they just saying like, hey, don't be reckless? It's old building, don't have a party. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I messaged them. I was like, hey, is this saying like never flush toilet paper? And it says use the container provided, but the container provided is just like the little garbage can they have next to them. Like, is it there? Are you just asking me to wipe my ass and keep it? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking me right now? Is to have a very uncomfortable collection? Because okay, but then you got to be clear about like, that shit in the listing.
It feels like they're slowly trying to turn you into Jeffrey Dahmer. They're like, hey, don't use a toilet, and if somebody knocks on the door, you should eat them.
Yeah,
just you can have friends over if they're not like breathing.
Yeah, and like it's probably great to like wear someone else's head. So like just think about that. Think about those things.
Yeah, just do that stuff and then
do that stuff and it's fine. And so I messaged them. I was like, "Does this mean never?" And their wording was like, they're like, "Yeah, it's really close to where like the sewage outlet is. So like it may." It doesn't always get to dissolve, the toilet paper, so sometimes it creates clogs. They said, so they said, just be careful. And I was like, what in the entire fuck does that mean? Be careful.
To be careful while flushing a toilet. You shouldn't have to flush a toilet like you're detonating a bomb. Yeah, like you should have to touch it like, ooh. You shouldn't have to like push it a little bit and then be like, was that too much?
I mean, yeah, like I won't go nuts with it. It's like, and like, listen, I know there are places that do that. It depends on the pipe system. It depends on the placement, blah, blah. But you got to warn a guy. That's got to be in the listing. That has to be in the listing.
It gives you no confidence
in anything. In anything in the place.
The water is clean.
It gives me no confidence the ceiling might not just fall. Like, I don't know, especially with that kid running.
I mean, it did fall. You know, a little piece of it fell.
That's, honestly true.
I also think that when you are getting an Airbnb, you obviously want the pictures to be accurate. My favorite Airbnb that a friend even stayed in, my buddy stayed in this thing, and he was telling me about it. I felt so bad because I told him he could stay with me, but
could have told me that.
This is a different time in my life.
I know, I'm kidding.
I basically was in this situation where I was still living with Jeff and Amy.
Okay.
And Buddy came to stay, and then he was about to move into an apartment. But then in the interim, he was like, oh, let me move out a little early. Maybe I can get to the apartment early. And I was like, okay, if you're sure. And he Airbnb'd from this guy. I don't even know how. Airbnb will let you list things for like a suspicious amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll let them get very expensive. Obviously, there are people. Yeah. There are people. I didn't even know this. There are people, rich people, whose Malibu homes they will put on Airbnb for like actually an affordable rate if you all use the rooms.
You'll see like houses in like picturesque parts of the country that are like $500 like for a night.
I'm talking about a mansion.
Right.
Where as long as you bring enough people to use every room that's in there,
right,
you'll be able to afford it.
Right. Yeah.
So $500 per person for 15 people. Right. So obviously that's a lot of money per night. Mm-hmm. But like, hey, if you had $1,500 and I had $1,500, we want to stay 3 nights at a mansion, and we just had to get every friend that we've ever had that we don't think will ruin anything. To come with us, I had to whittle it down. I don't want to say every friend we ever had because now it sounds like we only have 6 friends apiece. But basically, he stayed at this Airbnb, and when he got to he knew it was going to be small because the pictures were a little blurry. So he was like, okay, whatever I'm signing up for isn't good.
Yeah.
And it was also $20 a night. So he's also this is quite, and this is also early days of Airbnb too.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people don't know. I maybe people knew about Airbnb, but a lot of people weren't using it as regularly. Like now we actually compare Airbnbs to hotels. So we'll be like, let me see how much a hotel is. Let me see how much an Airbnb is. This is before we got to that stage as people.
Right, yeah.
So this is still when you had to kind of know what Airbnb was.
What Airbnb was, how to spot like what's
a deal and what's a scam.
What's a scam, what's real.
And so the pictures were very blurry. Goes over there and it's a tent for the $20 a night in the backyard.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Is a tent in the backyard, and the guy doing the $20 tent in the backyard, there's 2 other tents. So you're not even in a tent alone in the backyard. There are other tent people there.
And nowhere on the listing it said it was a tent at all?
Didn't seem like it.
Fucking
and so then
wild.
So then he's in his tent, and he's like, it's actually not that bad. Like, it's obviously bad. But he's like, hey, I'm new to New York. I'm like, he's also very young at the time.
Was it like in the city too?
No, I think it was in Brooklyn.
But I mean, like in New York proper though.
Yeah,
like you're in Brooklyn in a tent in someone's yard.
Yeah. I mean, the craziest part of this story is that someone has a backyard. I think you're getting caught up on little details.
I mean,
you're getting caught up on tents and like. Anyway,
I mean, I don't know.
So basically,
fuck me for getting caught up on the tent. Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
that I'm like, I can't believe someone tried to rent out a tent.
So basically, this dude is in the tent, and then the guy who's listing the Airbnb and has all the like tent people out there comes to his tent in the middle of the night and then just starts chatting with him, just starts like talking to him, which he was like, this can't be going anywhere good, you know? And then while he was talking to him, a guy comes to the backyard who must have just let himself in the house. I have no idea. But comes to the backyard and is like selling this dude drugs in front of the tent. And so he's like, man, this guy's not even trying to like cover it. Like he must not care about reviews at all. Cause you lied that I'd be inside. I'm inside a tent.
Right. Yeah.
And then you're selling, you're buying drugs in front of me, directly in front of me too.
Right.
And then the funny thing to me, he was like, imagine if I did drugs, I'd be so offended. You just bought drugs in front of me. Didn't even offer me some sort of deal in or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not even making that a part of like, hey, listen, I know I'm making you stay in a tent, but I got this rock.
Yeah. No, man. That was like properly bad. I felt bad for him. He was there for like 3 nights or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
a full on tent. And then there was one where this is when I was on the college tour, and I think I was going to, it was in New Hampshire. Was it Keene? I can't remember where I was in New Hampshire, but I was still doing a little bit of the couch surfing. Do you ever use couch surfing?
No.
Okay. Do you know what it is though?
I've heard of it,
Yeah,
but I
so
never used it.
I was still using couch surfing. I only used it a couple times because it was very hard for me to get reviews, because when people don't know you, they're nervous about letting you stay in their apartment, especially for free. And like, so then I kept trying to like throw in perks. So I'd be like, hey, if you let me stay, I can get you tickets to my show, or I can, you know, whatever the thing was that would help.
Right.
And so I was in New Hampshire. I was looking up places to stay next because I realized I hadn't planned a hotel yet.
Oh, okay.
And I also was still, this is like earlier in the tour, so I don't have the money to really like, I'll just stay at whatever's close when I get there.
Right.
Like
yeah.
this is still a point in my life where I had to like meticulously plan ahead, and I had let this extra day slip through the cracks.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I had to like, okay, I'm going to take a bus here to here, and I'm going to like all that routing stuff, which I was also scared to do. Like I ended up paying more because I kept putting it off because I was so scared to do it and get it wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, I let a date in New Hampshire slip through the cracks. So I'm already in New Hampshire, and I take a Greyhound in the morning for like an hour and a half to get to this next place.
Yeah.
And it's also just so funny because you think of life so differently now, not just because of where a person is like in relation to where they used to be, but also because of what we have now. So like at that time, I didn't even fully understand Airbnb. I knew about couch surfing.
Right.
I didn't even really like try to counter the bus with anything. So I was just like, buses are cheap. Just hopped on a bus. So I'm taking this bus, and as I'm like looking up couch surfing things, I'm like, man, no one's responded to me in time. So I'm gonna have to like maybe get this Airbnb thing people have been talking about.
Right.
And so that might have been the first time I actually put my credit card on Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'd looked up Airbnb before, but this is the first time I've like, okay, I'm gonna have to do it because I can't afford a hotel day of.
Right.
I mean, I'm not just gonna sleep in the bus station or something.
Right.
And so I start looking up some Airbnbs in the area, and that's how I knew I was in a bad area. Like these were horrible in the picture.
Yeah, if they're
they
bad
were,
in the picture,
they were so bad in the picture that I was like, this is. There was one place that I looked at, I was like, this is drugs. Only drugs could yellow a wall like that.
Yeah.
Like it was like it got to the point where I was like, for you to put it on here, it had to at least used to have been good.
Right. Either there was no filter on the phone that could fix this color, or you don't know how to do that, and therefore you can't be a trustworthy management.
Yeah, there was a place where and these are the pictures they're showing you. So they could elect to like try to hide something till you get there. So the pictures they're showing look like someone's been putting out cigarettes just anywhere.
Right.
like anywhere. And these places are like $45 a night, $50 a night, whatever. And so I'm looking at the prices and I'm like, man, I can't do it though. Like I was like in my head, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Then someone happened to respond that day from couch surfing. I ended up getting to crash on someone's couch, but that saved me from what we're definitely going to be like. No, there was one that was just a dorm, and in the listing of the thing, it was like, "This is my dorm." Don't like it was like someone was openly trying to get everyone to keep their secret. They were like, "This is my dorm. Just don't like blow my cover," essentially.
Right.
Is what they were saying.
Especially in those early days, there was a lot of like, because people were just doing it in like apartments where, they didn't own the apartment, they were just staying in it.
Yeah.
Putting it on there. Like, I think now it's more rigorous how you get, I think approved or whatever. Because I remember an apartment I had, people were just like, why don't you just Airbnb that room? I don't own it. The owner's family lives downstairs. Like, that just sounds like I'm going to absolutely get caught. And the lease says no Airbnb.
Yeah. It's
and also like Airbnb, like, I guess just put it out there, like, yeah, it's not good for like neighborhoods and stuff. So it's
but like
but sometimes I gotta save money.
It was so rampant. It was so rampant that every place in every state started putting whether or not you could Airbnb your place. Mm-hmm. It's rare that you get something that's that bad that it makes everyone collect, because no law got passed to make people say you have to tell people whether or not you want the Airbnb. Everyone just started being like, this is chaos.
Yes.
So I'm personally just gonna say don't Airbnb it, and then that spread like crazy.
Yeah. Because it's because now it's like it's just inviting so much into your home, like or a building you own.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I see that there are better deals. Like there are cheaper ones I could get to that are like it's just a room in someone's place, and I don't fuck with that. So like I never would have done the couch surfing one anyway. I just like my own space too much. And
the couch surfing one is so interesting because it's such a community, and I really appreciate everyone that let me stay with them. I only used it maybe 4 or 5 times in between hotels and Airbnbs and stuff, because then sometimes, as you know, the college will also sometimes have a hotel for you.
Yeah.
So then that also helped me, because I was like, okay, if I couch surf for the 2 days before I already have a hotel, then I'm like only making money this entire time.
Right.
I only have to worry about my food and the transportation, which I had already planned before I left New York. Mm-hmm. So I was like in a good spot. And yeah, luckily I didn't really have anybody that was weird on couch surfing. Like everyone was pretty much like, I would even ask them, I was like, why do you do this? And then they were like, well, one time I was like stranded in Finland, and just a stranger saw me sitting at the bus stop and then let me stay at their place. And ever since then I've been trying to like pass it forward or whatever. And I was like, wow. It was honestly the most altruistic reasons I've ever heard for people doing that.
And I have a feeling you're more likely to be the recipient of crazy, if weirdness if you're the renter rather than the rentee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because most people who are doing that are probably like, either someone just wants the extra money. They're clearly chill enough to just have someone in their house.
But couch surfing, you don't have to pay.
Oh, it's just
that's
just nice then. That's
what I'm saying.
That is just a nice community.
That's why I was like, this is crazy.
I thought that was like a rent a couch thing. I never did it. I'd heard of it. I never realized it was just literally just crash on couches. That's nice.
Yeah, there's one of them that you're renting the couch, but then the one that I did was straight up. That's why it was so hard to get people to respond sometimes, because like it's not like people were on it all the time. Some people almost kind of used it like a little bit Facebook-y in a way, where they like especially if they were world travelers, because I think the way that it started was world travelers trying to help each other out. Like, I live in the Netherlands.
Right.
So anyone in our community that comes to the Netherlands can stay with me as long as too many of you don't come at the same time.
Yeah.
So then to jump into that is very hard, because you have to get a lot of reviews for people to trust you.
Yeah.
Especially because it's free.
Yes. Okay.
And
that does add a whole new element to it. That makes it nicer, but then probably does make it. You gotta be a little.
That's why I was like
cagier.
Yeah, I was a little scared. Like I remember the first time I fell asleep at one, I was like, "This is it. I should have just spent that $80." And like now I'm about to.
I mean,
be murdered.
Yeah. I don't know. And you know my everyone does my general dislike of strangers and getting to know people. So crashing on just people's couches. I don't know. There'd be too much pressure. It'd be like, how much do I have to talk to you? How much do I have to like?
I remember
Because I'm not rude. I'm not a rude person, but I like my quiet too. I like to just.
What's the James Franco movie? This one will really bother you. This whole thing. I've talked about this for way too long already, but this story is going to make you very upset. One second.
Okay.
1 second.
The James Franco movie.
Not actually. I don't think you'll actually be angry, but this is. Give me 1 second.
I'm too exhausted to be truly angry about anything right now.
Okay, so you know the James Franco and Jonah Hill movie True Story?
I've heard of it.
Okay. I watched that movie with someone I was couch surfing with, and it was just this very sweet, like incredibly sweet out of a movie, little tiny old woman that that had done like couch surf. She had got on the couch surfing thing.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah, someone's got a big dick. All right.
I'm not saying that this is the reason, but this is what it felt like. So I'm not saying she's not a sad person. She was very happy. But it did seem like she would do Airbnb and couch surfing, which is why her couch surfing is even nicer, because she can make money off of renting the room and whatever. And sometimes she just chooses to like let somebody stay for free, if, you know. And basically we hung out for like a whole day. It was like,
see, that's the thing. This has Josh Jonhson written all over it. This whole situation. This dude I've talked before about how long he just will talk to just like people at the reception desk at hotels, and that's a good thing about you. I'm just saying this is a very much a Josh Jonhson adventure app.
We hung out all day because I got in, right? And so I get in and man, okay, so just from off the rip, I think that's a fridge.
Oh, is that the fridge? I was like, that's just a new one. I was like, that's coming from that way.
So just off top, I get in and I message her if I can come by a little bit earlier, because I was like, hey, I want to just make sure I take a quick nap before my show and everything. And I know I'm getting in early in the day, so when's a good time to check in and stuff?
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, you can come by whenever. I'm just hanging out. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I get to the apartment and she lets me in, and her daughter is leaving. Okay. So her and her daughter had been having lunch, I guess, and her daughter's leaving. And then I sit down and she's like, we have some leftover sandwiches if you want anything. Can I feed you? I was like, oh no, I'm good. It was like hang out with my grandma. And then she just kept trying to feed me. And then we were sitting there. Were sitting there, and she started just telling me stories about her family. And it was, before I knew it, it had been an hour. And I was just like, man, this lady's like the coolest. Yeah. And she was like, do you have any errands you want to run or anything? Like, I was like, oh yeah, I actually do need to go to CVS. And so we went to CVS together. We went to CVS together, and so we go to CVS, and
I do not know how you haven't been kidnapped. Like, I don't know how someone truly hasn't taken you hostage.
But
wonder into these scenarios a lot.
But she's so little. It was hilarious too, because she had a little. It wasn't a donut. Mm-hmm. But I guess she had an injury, and so she had a little cushion on the driver's seat. Mm-hmm. But then the cushion also seemed like it was helping her see over the steering wheel. So it looked like it was just serving dual purpose. Like, because she was like, now you'll have to be patient with me. I walk a little slow because I fell. And the way I had to try not to laugh when she was telling me, because I really didn't want to offend her. Because by now we're like chilling, we're like buds,
you're
right?
You're best friends now, yeah.
And so then, she was like, "Oh, I fell because," and I've seen something like this happen before, so it makes sense. But basically, she fell, and then she tried to get up quick. She said she felt like if she got up fast enough, she wasn't hurt. And so she fell.
That
and
is
like
perfect,
and
like old person logic.
Yeah, like when you're like, it's like when you're a kid and you trip, but you're embarrassed and you're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good. You try to save it.
Yeah.
And she fell and she tried to get up so fast that she fell again. Oh. And that's where she really did the damage. And so she was walking a little slow and had like a little bit of a wiggle to, compensate. Mm-hmm. And he goes, the doctor says I'm going to make a full recovery, but I mean, at my age, what does that even mean?
Yeah, she sounds badass.
Yeah, she was like, if you do your best, you'll still have a 70-year-old hip. And so we go to CVS, and she's like giving me like mild to hot goss on everybody at the CVS. This is a small-ish town.
Oh, okay.
And so she was like, "Oh, the cashier there used to work at Arby's, but her service was terrible."
See right there. That is why she rents out the couch.
Yeah.
She just wanted people to gossip with.
Yeah.
And clearly,
her daughter's heard all of it already.
Her daughter's heard all of it, and if she's talking shit about everyone, she probably don't have a lot of friends. So I'm gonna just let people stay on my couch.
Yeah. But no, she would tell me, so it was the full benefit of a nosy old woman, because she was telling me about people we were passing in the car. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like we would be passing people in the car on the sidewalk.
Great.
She'd be like, "Oh, Hill right there." He was I was like, yeah, because like I also don't care, but also I only saw the back of his head, so it's not like we talked to him and then she's walking. Like
I have no perspective on him. I have not seen this man. I didn't know he was there.
Yeah, like at least the cashier like dropped her cookie to it. Like when she was telling me about the cashier, I was like, oh, that sparked a little memory because of the awkward thing that just happened.
Yeah.
Because she, to be fair to my older friend, the cashier did. It was kind of a boss move because it worked for me and then it didn't work for her. Mm-hmm. So she rang everything up. This is her process, right? The cashier rang everything up and then opened one bag and then tried to slide everything, like scoop everything in the bag. And so I got a bunch of snacks and like a new toothbrush and some stuff. Mm. And so for me, it worked because it was like everything I got was small. And then this woman that I'm saying we got many more things, and she still tried it, and so most of it just missed the bag.
Yeah. You can't do it with a gallon of milk. You can't.
she's just like scooping it off the counter, and then it just starts falling, and then as it's falling, she keeps scooping because she's like, some of it's gonna land in there.
Yeah,
and then so then we go back. I invite her to the show.
Okay.
Which she was like, oh, if I come, I'll have to like come a bit later, or you like first or whatever, and like all that stuff. And so she was nice enough to drop me off at the college, and was like, I can pick you back up if you want, and blah blah. And you can ride with me if if I do come to the show.
Also, I pinned my number to your shirt.
Yeah.
So if you get lost, just tell someone to call that.
There's a sign on your back that says you're my son.
Here's a baggie.
And so
got
then
a sandwich in there for you.
I do the show, and I can't remember if she came or not, sadly, because that would be very sweet if she came. Anyway, but I take an Uber back because I just don't, hear from her or anything. Mm-hmm. And she must not have come because she opened the door when she. Anyway, but then we get back inside, and she's watching, maybe it was HBO or Showtime, and she's like, a movie's about to come on, do you want to watch? And we just watched True Story with James Franco and Jonah Hill, and she just kept gushing on James Franco the entire time. Like she would just turn to me and be like, I know he's a murderer in this one, but he's dreamy.
Luckily he ended up being very cool in real life too.
Yeah it's it's clearly her Hollywood crush. And then we watched the whole thing, and then
she had to be bummed a couple years ago if she's still with us.
I guess so. Yeah. Maybe she didn't.
Maybe she passed to miss the fall of James Franco.
What if she wanted it that way? What if she was like, I'd rather die than hear a bad word said about James Franco.
Lose my James Franco.
Yeah. So yeah, we watched True Story, and I'll never
What's that one about?
forget that. That was like very cool. She was like a great stay.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good story. I like that a lot. So maybe I do need to I don't know, involve myself in people's lives instead of under them.
I guess so. I mean, it's also gone poorly. Like,
Oh, for sure.
like there have been times where
I know. I listened to this show. I know your stories are a real 50-50. Of either something great happens or something inexplicable happens. Hi.
So, the next Airbnb that you're going to, has this given you pause? Are you nervous now?
A little, because it's not that far away from the one I'm in now. And the pictures of it, it's a weird setup, but
Yeah.
it does have some amenities. Like, I mean, mainly it has air conditioning, so like that will make me happy. And windows, because it's not a basement unit. So I'll just probably be less just depressed. And this one does have windows in the bedroom, and it looks straight out to garbage. It just looks out straight into the back of the garbage cans. Not even the pile of garbage, but like just the cans are there in front of the windows. So it's not really a view.
So I have one more
Okay.
Airbnb horror that I think
Scarebnb?
maybe we should just stop.
That
the
was a
episode
good one. That
now.
was a good pun.
I'm not even saying it wasn't good. I'm saying that maybe, we've both had a long day.
Right. You're saying nothing can top it. Nothing can top Scarebnb. So we should probably quit while we're ahead is what you're saying. That's what Josh is saying.
Why don't we go out of focus for a second?
Because the light is going away, so it's having trouble.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
It's having a little trouble focusing on both of us. Yeah, let's get real close now.
Yeah, my bad. Did I mess it up by leaning back?
No, that was
Okay.
fine. I was leaning back. I think I was the first one to lean back.
So now there's a light there, so this will be over soon.
Yeah. That's a really hip ice cream truck.
God, this ice cream is really hot. Do they put a lot of cinnamon in it, or? Oh, my mouth's on fire.
God.
So basically, I have a friend. Just for all intents and purposes, let's call him Benny, just so that we can keep the story straight. Okay.
Now, Benny or Binny?
Let's call him Sam. Dick. So Sam was getting an Airbnb because he had to stay for a friend's wedding a couple extra days.
Okay.
And so it was basically him staying with his friends in a hotel for like 3 nights.
Right.
But then whenever they needed to stay a bit longer, he couldn't float it, so he was downgraded to an Airbnb that was cheaper than splitting the hotel that they were at. Because I guess they got a group deal for everyone that was in the wedding, but
you can get
then
a
the
deal on rooms
extra
for that.
stay it wasn't covered by the
Right.
wedding.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? And so
Yeah, because you only get that deal when you're blocking off a bunch of rooms. So it's
Yeah.
like you're still putting a lot of money into the hotel, but yeah.
yeah, and so he stayed for the wedding and then stayed a couple extra days for business and stuff.
Okay.
And he's staying at this Airbnb, and this woman is renting it from the upstairs. So she's upstairs, kind of like your situation. She's upstairs, and then downstairs is the Airbnb. And while he's there, this guy knocks on the door. He comes to the door, and the guy is like, "Who the hell are you?" And
Jesus.
and Sam is like, I'm staying at the Airbnb. He's like, oh, really? And he's like, yeah? Like, what? Who are you? Like, you know that thing where someone starts interrogating you and it takes you a second to be like, wait, why am I answering your questions?
Yeah,
you know?
You have no authority over me, I think.
And then the guy at the door is like, that I'm asking because there's no Airbnb here. And he's like, yeah, there is. It's on Airbnb. I rented it. I got the keys from the person upstairs, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he goes to like around, which I guess is how you get to the like first floor or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the person he rented from comes down, and then he walks back up to him with the woman that gave him the keys, like, who is this? And she's like, he's renting the Airbnb. And he's like, there's no Airbnb here. And she's like, yes, there is. And then then the guy is like, so you're not lying to me, are you? Like, to him. And he's like, no. And then she's like, stop it. And he's like, you're not lying to me either, right? And you're like, no. And then finally he's like, who is this person? And she says, this is my ex-husband. And then he's like, husband.
There's the whole story in that one assertion.
Yeah.
That is the entire story.
And so he's just standing there now while they argue if there's an Airbnb there. So then
And now they got to argue if they're still married.
yeah. And so he never got the full story, but he's like, this guy probably thought I was like,
Here to have sex with his wife.
yeah,
Which is clearly a suspicion already on his mind.
yeah.
Wow.
Which is, how do you leave a good review after that? Like, how do you leave a...
Yeah.
Because you're scared for a second. Because you're like... Because the guy didn't just go like, oh, okay, and then walk away. He was like, oh,
Right.
all right. It's like he just walked away.
Maybe he was really hoping to be able to stay in the basement for their trial separation, and now this is confirmation that he will not be able to do that.
Now this is just horrible.
You also can't, someone say, this is my ex-husband. You can't just go, no, husband. Like, that doesn't fix it.
No, it really doesn't.
That does nothing.
So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'll continue avoiding people. I've gone full circle.
I didn't want to skew you and like fill your,
You want to give me optimism for people.
Yeah, no, not worth it.
Should we open up the mailbag quick?
Let's do it.
What do you want to go? We got some new ones, or should we do some of the ones that were for our 100th?
Maybe we do one old, one new.
101 new? Okay. Yeah. Let's see, how old do we want to go here? We'll do this one. This isn't like old, but this is from a month back. But this is from Kyle, and it says the title is Fair Fish. And then this is interesting, you got this angle looking.
Just
at
my
me
neck
now.
was starting to hurt.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Starting to hurt bad, and I've been trying to handle it the entire time, and it's been almost an hour.
We could have done this.
No,
from the beginning.
It's fine.
Do you want me to turn this way to you too?
You don't have to, because you have to read.
Well, I can.
Why would you do it like that?
I don't know, man.
That's.
But it says, hey, J-Lo, thought you'd like to hear that I once won the healthiest and strongest fair goldfish to ever live when I was 13 years old. Fair goldfish have come up a few times on this show. So
yeah.
I didn't know this thing would last longer than 2 weeks, so I named him Dinner.
That's dope.
That's a great name.
Wow.
Well, he lived for over 6 years. He survived the harrowing experiences of, and now there's a little bullet point list. 1, living in a tiny bowl for 2 years. We changed the water weekly by scooping him up in a ladle and keeping him in a soup bowl until the fresh water was conditioned. 2, overfeeding him. So 3, my older brother feeding him crushed up Oreos.
That's a dope life, though.
This fish sounds like he's actually doing, like, that's why he kept fighting. He's like, I love these.
This is
dessert
great.
Fish food they give me.
Yeah.
The same older brother chasing him with a letter opener. So I'm assuming that means just putting it in the water and trying to,
And just like spinning it around.
that's what
and
I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's just stirring.
Yeah.
We got him an actual tank-like bowl with a lid to protect him from my psychopath brother. And then finally, a glow stick accidentally leaking into his water. What kind of...
This is probably like in fish heaven. He party the hardest. Like
Yeah,
he's
got
seen
the
things
stories.
other goldfish have never seen.
He finally died when I went to college and my dad was away for the week and my mom, quote, didn't know she was supposed to feed him. She apparently thought he was a plant and not a living water being. R.I.P. dinner. Love y'all, Kyle.
That goldfish might still be alive if it hadn't been for his mother's negligence.
Yeah.
This is the closest thing to a murder.
You need to hold that over her forever. That's what you need to do. And let me look for, let's see, a new one here. Okay, this is real recent. So this is from, where's the name? I guess Don. And the title is Ayo, Heyo, Hello, J-Lo. So
Wow, fire.
points on that title.
Fire.
I was introduced to Josh's comedy via a random ad to my work playlist years ago of his earliest album, I Like You, and have been hooked into his hilarity ever since. Like many have already said before, Logan is the perfect component. I think I'm the perfect component. Okay, so I'm the only thing working about this.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, maybe they mean opponent, but yeah.
I thought companion, but opponent's probably good too. Logan is the perfect component in this podcast for Josh with his unhinged laughter, antagonizing, and overall love and concern for his totes bestie. Come on. Love you.
It looks like there's more there.
There's not. Let's just sit in this for a second.
That's not necessary.
I took my mom and brother to see Trevor Noah at the Foxwood Casino in Connecticut and completely forgot that you opened for him. When you were introduced, I lost my shit and couldn't stop shaking and yelling at my bro and mom in excitement, telling them how hyped I was to see you live and in person. Wish I could have hung out there long enough to have raced you on that indoor go-kart track.
Oh, yeah.
Was there an indoor track there?
Did I not tell you about this?
Was that what we talked about last
I
time?
thought we talked about it, but...
I guess I didn't know it was indoor.
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
But
indoor.
okay, so from that recent episode.
Yeah.
There you go. I live in PA, but I won't be able to see y'all at the Punchline in Philly next week because I work second shift during the weekdays, and that weekend I'll be in DC cosplaying at an anime convention.
Okay.
Quit your job. Do the anime convention. Quit your job. Come on out. Nothing but the best of luck to you both, and hope to meet y'all face to face one day. Rating 69 nice weebs out of 5 weebs.
Thank you so much, Don.
P.S. question.
Yeah.
Have either of you attended any conventions, whether an anime, game, etc.? And who would y'all be willing to cosplay as if you did? Have you ever been to an anime convention or comic book convention?
Yeah, I've been to a couple. What did I go to? I went to one that was in Lafayette, Louisiana. I can't remember the name of it. And I think I've been to something called, I can't remember what it was. It was like half comic books, half old. Like it was a comic book convention, but it was like half like comic books and then half old, super old like TV nostalgia stuff. So they'd be like, I was an extra on Knight Rider, that thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, just kind of a regular
but I have
convention.
been to one. I've been to 2 technically because I went to Comic-Con in 2016, the New York Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to that one in Lafayette in like 2009 maybe.
Okay.
But yeah.
I've never been to a comic book. I don't think I've been to any convention like that. Do car shows count? We go to car shows with my dad a lot, so that's like a car convention.
It's not really the same thing at all, but
people are dressed up there like
like
hillbillies. I think that's just how they dress. But
yeah, this whole thing is not car convention Comic-Con.
Okay, but now to answer the second part of that question, though, who would you cosplay as?
Someone said, who's the electric shock superhero that's not Black Lightning? It's Static Shock. Yeah, people have said I look like Static Shock.
What's he from?
I think DC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Pretty
sure DC.
Okay.
What about you?
Who would I cosplay as? I don't know. What could I pull off? Some kind of sitcom dad.
I think maybe like a dad from Yes Dear.
Yeah, or I don't know, Mark Baker from Perfect Strangers. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I could probably, if I cut some hair, I could do early season Hopper from Stranger Things, maybe back when he was when he was still thicker.
Did he get skinny?
Yeah, he's skinny now. Well, because he got ripped for.
I'm very behind.
That's all right. Well, yeah, he's ripped this season. They worked in the storyline, but also he got ripped for the Black Widow movie. And
when you say ripped, do you mean like pants ripped from all the weight that he gained?
No,
he's very big in Black Widow. He's like out of shape in Black Widow.
But he's like way thinner than he was. Maybe he lost it for Stranger Things then. But no, he's much thinner now than he was.
I like to think some actors.
He's way more fit because he had a gut though, like in the early days of Stranger Things, and now he's pretty fit now because he did it for Hellboy too. I guess Hellboy's probably what he bulked up for, is what he got.
Yeah, because I like to think that some actors just get fit for them.
I mean, I think that ends up being the like bonus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sure but it helps if someone else is like, kind of footing the bill for it. But that was kind of like everyone always thought that Kumail Nanjiani got ripped because like Marvel made him, but like they didn't care. They wanted him to just be him, but he's like, nah, I'm gonna get
jacked.
So like that's another thing for him to just be like, nah, don't worry, I'm gonna get ripped.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening to the Josh Jonhson Show. We had a great time recording. I hope you had a great time listening. If you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Jonhson Comedy on Instagram, Josh J Comedy on Facebook, Josh Jonhson on Twitter, and Josh Jonhson Comedy on TikTok and YouTube, where we're going to be posting clips of the show. And if you're looking for Logan,
you can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get into the mailbag like those people there, you can email us joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. And if, say, I don't know, next week, let's say Wednesday, the 27th, around 10 p.m.-ish, if you feel like meeting us in person, you can come out to Union Hall in Brooklyn. We are doing a live, in-person Josh Jonhson show. So we're going to do some stand-up, and then we're also going to do a full episode. We're going to do a full recording of us doing the show with an audience. We did it last year, and it was